Hello, everyone, and welcome to another afternoon session of IndieX 2024. Today, we're going to be talking about what I feel is a very special game, a very different game, not just because it has a really nice art style, really great sound design, but also kind of depicts a topic that has started to pop up more in games, but hasn't been, let's say, so frequent, which is, in this case, climbing. Um, I would not say it's exactly a simulator. It's kind of more also, I mean, you kind of go through the same motions, but it's not this hardcore simulation. But as a boulderer, it was something that actually excited me a lot when I saw it. And I can't wait to ask more questions to our guest today, which I'm very proud to present. His name is Morgan, and he comes from the side of the publishing team at the Game Bakers. So, Morgan, thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Nunu. How about yourself?
Also doing pretty good. I mean, I get to play this awesome game and I get to talk to you about it. So I don't know how it could be a better afternoon plan.
I'm really excited. This game has kind of completely consumed my life since I've been working on it, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Oh, okay. Do you do also bouldering, rock climbing, actually, or is this more just like you got your hands on the game and you were so hooked that you really dove into it?
I've only done the bare minimum of recreational climbing. I went out to the climbing gym with my friends a couple of times, but when the development team of the Game Bakers started working on Cairn, the whole development team actually went on a rock climbing expedition together, and we've also collaborated with a bunch of very noteworthy rock climbers and alpinists. So it's been wonderful to see their responses and see how they feel this game authentically represents the alpinist experience.
So, I mean, you're more on the publishing side, but the development team for this game, how big is it? How many people are we talking about?
It's about 30 to 40 people around in that area. We kind of keep a tight, small team, and everyone is working as hard as they possibly can to kind of realize this dream.
Absolutely. Sounds very good. Um, well, I think we can start jumping into the game so people can actually get their eyes on it and see how I do because I mean, I've been playing it for a little bit, so I know my way around, but I'm by no means no expert. So let's see if I can make it to the top of our mountain in this case, not the mountain in the final game, which we will talk about in a little bit, but at least here in the demo.
And I also made poor Nunu switch from keyboard to controller right before we started, so cut him some slack.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, I mean, the first thing we can kind of see when we start playing is immediately this kind of dreamy, I mean, still stylized look to the game. And I know you actually talked to a comic book artist, Mathieu, if I'm not wrong, about or the game team itself talked to him about making and developing this art style. Do you know something about this process? How did it happen? Was the team a fan of him? Did they know him before? How did they bring him onto the project?
Oh yeah, we reached out to him specifically, I believe. His work is so inspiring. He has such a particular look to his artwork that is so undeniably French and really fits within the spirit of our studio. And so he has really helped us define the look of Cairn. And it's such a wonderful thing to be able to realize such a holistic artistic vision. And what you'll notice as you look at this mountain, these every single handhold you see here was hand clicked. There is no procedural generation in our mountain. All of this is very intentionally created.
Actually, that's great that you already answered that because that was one of my questions as I played. Because even though I don't know the full extent of the game, so the size, how long it is, this kind of stuff, I was thinking, okay, if they want to make a like an actual long game, handcrafting all of the routes, particularly when you offer the player different approaches, which we will see later on, it must be time consuming. So I wanted to know if you were employing procedure generation or not. But now that you answered it, I actually have a follow up question, which is were you part of this decision, or do you know what kind of led the team to use a more handcrafted approach instead of a procedural generation one, which is also valid for other games, of course?
Yeah. So we really want players to feel very empowered when they're choosing their routes, choosing how they want to climb this mountain. Because the mountain is like it's the boss of the game. That's the whole thing. So what you'll notice here is everywhere you're climbing, you're going to have a very different experience. Anytime you go up this mountain, you're going to have a completely different experience. So as you're planning your routes, you can make the decision to choose a route that is more challenging and that really tests your skills, or you can choose a route that it might be a little bit easier. And so not only is there a strategy element there, but you can also choose to challenge yourself, to push yourself like our protagonist did.
Absolutely. And for those who cannot know what I'm seeing because we don't have inputs on the screen, this basically might look a little bit complicated, but it actually is quite, I would say, natural. So you just use one button to grab and to move on to another limb, for example, and then you use the directional button to pick where you're going to place your foot. For example, see how I'm doing it here. I'm guessing this was kind of one of the biggest nightmares for the dev team,
Oh boy.
because I don't know if it's inverse kinematics or what kind of other thing they're using, but this is always an extremely high pain in the ass to debug. And I just want to tell you that you did an amazing job, actually. And I wanted to know if you have some insights that you want to share with us about how this kind of system was built, let's say.
Yeah, so I'll pass your compliments along to the chefs. Yeah, so every single limb movement is procedurally animated, and
Yes.
you'll notice that Ava, our protagonist's limbs, will start shaking at certain points. So each grip that she has is actually going to exert different forces on her body. Um, she will always choose to move the limb that is supporting the least amount of her weight, basically the most optimal limb that she can move. So you'll see it does kind of cycle because you're placing your limbs very
Hmm.
well. You're supporting her with her feet, you're supporting her with her arms, and it's really fun to be able to look under the hood because there's actually like real time calculations of the amount of force being exerted on each limb, which is just really cool to see.
Yeah, that's amazing because I mean, I started bouldering only this year,
Mm,
and I am by no means I am a technical boulderer, so I'm still very much learning the how to place my feet, the tricks of
mhm,
twisting your body, which how should you hold, and all these kinds of things. And so it's very much a thing of incredibly how you can kind of replicate it here, and how I was able to kind of use a little bit of my knowledge, small as it is, to actually try and climb in a more efficient manner. It's
mhm.
very very well replicated.
And you see there, you just you took a break and you actually shook out her limbs to help her
Yeah,
regain
yeah.
some stamina.
See, because this is a tricky one.
Yeah, you're in a bit of a rough spot. Which way are you gonna
Yeah,
go?
that's what I want to think about. uh, let's see if I can kind of somehow. Oh yeah,
Well,
there we go.
ooh, bit of a slip down.
Yeah, try and get a stable position. I have to remember
Don't be
the
afraid to use
pylon
those
button.
pitons. They'll help you.
Oops. Well, I had another idea. Jump down. Okay, so
Mm,
let's try and look at the mountain. So this is something you can also do, like when you're faced with the challenge, right? You can go back. You can kind of assess from different sides. So probably that side's a shorter climb there. Maybe it will be easier for me to use the vines, for example. Something like that. It might be better. So you talked about like the mountain is the boss, right? Did you try and replicate, how do I say, the feel of a boss fight during the mountain? How did you go about it to trying to actually do this? Because it's not the same, right? It's quite hard to introduce, I guess, a pacing and the change of rhythm that usually boss fights have, because players are very used to that design language.
mhm.
And climbing is something that for them is kind of like not so well known, right? So
Yeah.
how did you go about trying to replicate this?
Well, a lot of what I think is so interesting about boss fights is you're able to develop this relationship with the boss as you start to fight it. Like I was, hey, any boss in a particularly difficult game, you'll start to anticipate their patterns and you'll start to like you'll see what frustrates you about this boss. And that is kind of that same art that Ava is going on with this mountain. you're going to be finding places that really frustrate you, that you have difficulty getting past, and you will eventually be able to overcome. And kind of that feeling of achievement and satisfaction after a long period of striving is really kind of at the heart of Cairn.
Where's the pylon button? Pylon.
So that's going to be in your quick actions. That's going to be on your D-pad.
Okay, good. So I just.
And these
Oh
kind
yeah.
of work like, yeah, there you go.
And
Oh, running
too
out of
late.
stamina.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh, dear. We have our first
oh, that was
death.
a pretty long fall.
Yeah. Let's see. I've actually never had a game over in the game before, so let's see what happens. Is there? Yeah. Okay. The ascent is over.
Yeah.
It just began, by the way, but let's not get too much into that. Okay, let's see.
And you could see your route there. You could actually see the exact path you took up the mountain.
Yeah. Do you, by talking about since I just died, actually,
Mhm.
do you have any difficulty adjustments or any customization of your experience, for example? Or are you going more for like this well designed, well thought out single experience, and you want that to stand out instead of giving the player freedom to customize their path and their choices?
So we at the Game Bakers, we really strive to embed accessibility into our games from the very beginning. And that goes to what I was talking about before, in that you do choose your own route. And so if you are having difficulty in a certain area of the mountain and you want to make it a little bit less challenging for yourself, it often just comes down to exploring more, finding a route that is best for you. And this is not a very it's not a very twitchy, fast-paced game. You're able to really
Absolutely not.
take your time with it if you very carefully consider your opportunities. So we think it will be a really satisfying challenge for everyone who plays it.
Absolutely. And now that I actually know how to use pylons, for sure it's gonna be easier. Because
Oh yeah,
not using
absolutely.
pylons, I mean, it's basically like free soloing a mountain, right? If you don't use
Hmm.
pylons, you're just going at it, and not everyone can just absolutely send a climb. It's easy.
Yeah, that's kind of as again. Yeah, the game is as hard as you make it. So if you don't want to use pitons on your ascent, you could just decide to free solo the entire mountain.
I'm sure someone, not me, will have the time of their life doing that. Um, that will be probably a challenge. Actually, maybe a nice trophy to have. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I mean, we've already seen like people in the dev team have been having a lot of fun challenging themselves, and they've gotten to some pretty impressive times for the climbing of the entire mountain.
Nice. Do you have any like big climbers in the team, for example? Actually, like real life climbers, let's say.
Well, a lot of the climbing inspirations come from actually the one of our studio heads, Audrey the
Nice.
Prince. Her father actually went on a alpinism expedition, and he was one of the only people to return. So she has a
Oh,
lot of that kind of real world experience of what inspires people to do these. And so it's been great to have her voice along with the dev team to just really shape what makes this game special.
absolutely. Because I mean, now we're talking more about the mechanics because it's kind of what first stands out aside outside of the look of the game because
Mhm.
it's like this kind of innovative experience and it's very different from Fury or Haven, which were the games that the team did before, of course. But it also wants to place emphasis on the story. For example, when I first saw the trailer, I saw there was a lot of this message of frustration from Aava that she
Mhm.
every time she reaches one pinnacle, there just seems to be something else in the horizon that she's going to have to climb. So I'm assuming the story will somehow be shaped by this kind of themes. But yeah, if you would want to talk a bit more about the story, then feel free to do so because I'm certainly quite interested to see where we're going to go on this adventure with Ava.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to learn a lot more about Ava as we approach release. But what I can say for right now is that she's incredibly driven. She has been working her entire life to climb this mountain. And so not only is the challenge of her lifetime. It's also the pinnacle of her achievement. And seeing what her relationship is to striving, what her relationship is to sacrifice to achieve her goals, is at the heart of Karn. Karen, rather. It's the whole game is about her relationship to achievement and relationship to Kami, the mountain of the game.
That's, looks like I'm going to be able to actually maybe make it up there. Let's see. So, well,
I have faith in you. I think you're doing
definitely.
great. I mean, you got your little
Um,
friend Climbot down there belaying you, so he's going to help
yeah,
you out.
absolutely. Oh yeah, by the way, did this idea about bringing in the climb bot, was it kind of more like a decision from the design standpoint? Was it more a narrative help? Because I know the climb bot can be used for certain moments to communicate with people who are supporting you, for example. And besides, of course, he does the belay and he helps you repair pylons, which is something we can talk about afterwards, because there's also this kind of resource management part about it,
Mhm.
because we are
Yeah.
consuming the pylons, of course, and water and all these kinds of things. So it's not just about climbing, but actually about, let's say, surviving the
Yep.
mountain, because this is like a crazy thing to do, making it into the
Hmm.
mountain. Um, oh, I was almost there.
Ooh.
I was just
Hey,
about to screw the python.
I know, but you had
Let's
your
see.
piton there. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, that's good at least. So
And
yeah,
Climbot
there's
is,
yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
he's a bit of a fusion. He's very mechanical and very narrative. He is kind of like, in a very strange way, he is Avo's only connection to the ground, in both very literally and figuratively. He's the thing keeping her up in the air, and is also relaying to her messages. So yeah, he is Ava's only companion on a mountain in which she is otherwise completely alone.
Ah, okay, good. So that means that we will not meet other climbers, or do we meet someone else on the mountain, for example?
You might be meeting some other people on this mountain. I don't want to spoil too much, but I think I don't want to spoil too much because such a big part of the game is that exploration, and I want to leave these discoveries for you to have.
Okay, good. Let's see if we can make some progress. Ooh, too high. Let's put a little bit here. Talking about the development itself, I mean, with 40 people, kind of 30 to 40, of course, working on it, there's sure to be some funny stories or some highlight moments for yourself during development. So I don't know if you would be willing to share any moments where you, like, maybe there was a development breakthrough, or there was just a great moment of people seeing the game progress after a long time. I'm sure there have been some moments of victory, let's say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a whole channel in our work Slack that we dedicate to sharing like impactful development moments, funny mishaps, and also just really cool climbing footage because everyone in the game is everyone working on the game is getting so good at the game. So we've all been able to share some really impressive stuff so far. But also, I mean, there's been some bugs to squash. Our development team is working so hard to make sure that Cairn feels smooth and polished and refined. And so before we squash those bugs to make it the experience that you're seeing right now, there have been some very silly limb interactions and stuff like that. But we're going to share a lot of that after the game releases.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I can't wait to just see the amount of glitches that might happen with this kind of complex procedural generation calculations for animation. There must be amazing, where just limbs go flying everywhere because you slightly touch the rock the wrong way. Well, yeah, I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
those things
I
happen a
mean,
lot.
and that's the hardest thing. I mean, when you have something like Karen that looks like it does now, I
Yeah.
mean, that's hundreds and thousands of hours of very, very careful and responsible creation work.
Yes. I seem to be doing a bit better now because kind of taking my advice I got from bouldering friends, which is I climbed too statically, so I should just actually
Oh,
move instead of stopping every time and thinking about what I'm going to do next. I should just like try and move, and it actually makes you climb faster. for sure.
That is so funny. That is exactly the advice I got from our other studio lead, Emmerich, when I was first starting to play Cairn, is that, yeah, you really just have to keep moving. And that's what's so fun about this game is that it's very easy to get the hang of. Like we've been playing for a little while and you're already climbing incredibly efficiently, but it's difficult to master.
Yes, did it just in time. I was just about to fall. Oof.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, look, so this is kind of the Pyrrhic victories you will have when you play the game because now you're presented to this lovely scene with butterflies and the sound wells up. And then you just look again and you're like, oh, I have to do it again. But it is still very exciting that you can pace the game this way and give the player this nice feeling that, hey, actually, you did something, right? It was the first mountain you climbed. So here's something to kind of give you a nice little bit of recompense.
Yeah.
Um, do you have actually a dynamic soundtrack? Because it's quite ambient, but now that I made it up here, I see that we actually went, we got like this swell of instrumental music, right? So
Yeah.
I'm curious to know.
And that's something people really expect from game makers games is a really impressive soundtrack, and it is incredibly dynamic. We want to give you those really tense, lonely moments when you're climbing, and then when you get to these moments of victory, just like you described, you're able to fully appreciate the beauty and serenity of the mountain.
Yes, because actually, like now, this whole thing looks like quite serene, quite nice, but I'm sure from people who have watched the trailer that you can see that basically the game also contains scenes of, for example, snow and storms and all these kinds of things. So it will not always be this, let's say, easygoing experience. Here we can see how nice the
Yeah, and we were
climb
just
was.
talking
Those
about
are so
survival. What we actually call the game internally is a survival climber game because we try to keep things very diegetic. We don't want too many menus like covering this experience for you. But you do have to worry about Ava's meters. She has a stamina bar, she has a temperature bar, she has a food bar, she has a water bar. And so you have to make sure all of these things are filled to make sure you can still climb efficiently. So it's so important to keep an eye on which of your pitons are damaged, if you have enough water, if you have enough food. I mean, she's carrying that big backpack on her back for a reason. That is
absolutely.
her second lifeline on the mountain.
Let's see again. All.
Oof.
Let's see. Okay, good. What else can we have here? Okay, we have water. We can check our backpack actually. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, oh, this actually, I can actually eat dandelions. That's a nice surprise.
Yes,
Let's
you
go at
can.
it.
And whenever you bivouac or camp, basically, you are able to actually cook meals that are a little bit more fulfilling for Aava.
Nice. Yes, because chocolate are good, but maybe not good enough. Let's say for the whole trek up the mountain.
Exactly. And so be sure to keep an eye out for other supplies as you climb.
Let's cancel that action. See that here.
And you're going to be noticing that the mountain feels very alive. We have butterflies flying around you right now. We have the wind. We have the music. And this is
Let's
even
see.
more true. Oof, another slip.
Let's check.
On the full mountain itself, you're going to be finding a lot more animals and even more things that make the mountain feel like it is truly alive and a boss worthy of conquering.
Very much feels like a boss already. So I think they did a good job there, basically.
Mhm.
So when you were thinking about actually the part you just mentioned, also, for example, actually we have like resource management, but we also have say space management because one of
Mhm.
my favorite things I discovered was that you can just kind of rattle your bag to kind of fit
Mhm.
more stuff inside. So that's really great. Um, this resource management part of the game was it something that was brought also by the leader of the team, for example, and her experience? Because I know in past games, the game makers have not had this kind of more, let's say, resource management, inventory management thing, and have either been more action oriented. So was this like an expertise brought from the leader that she knows how this happens in the mountains? Did you consult any external consultants, for example? How did this come about?
Yeah, I think this like this has been part of Cairn from the very beginning. We always wanted Cairn to be a survival climber, and as we've been iterating, our inventory management has seen a lot of different changes to make it feel as good as it does now. I cannot speak to exactly where it came from because it's difficult to disentangle because it's so much a part of what makes Cairn Cairn, right?
Quite sleeping out now, actually. Maybe there's some way
Mhm,
to get more stamina, I'm thinking, but seems like my stamina is quite good, actually. See
mhm.
how
Well, you could
many.
always chalk up your hands. That'll actually improve your
Oh,
grip
yeah.
strength.
Let's see if we can get that going.
There you go. You'll actually leave little chalk patterns as you climb.
That's nice. Guess I have to be less stingy with the pythons, I'm assuming.
Hmm.
Probably trying to climb too much without python usage will get me nowhere.
Yeah, that's something I have had difficulty learning because I it's so tempting to just want to free solo as soon as you
Oh,
start, and it
Twister.
just it doesn't work out as well as I would like it to.
Absolutely. And I also like that you did this kind of, you're not just giving the player like an easy way out with the pythons because
Mhm,
they're consumable first of all, and then you have this mini game where you actually need to correctly implement them, let's say that, otherwise you
mhm.
actually lose them and you will have to repair them later. So you cannot just fuss about and try just put a pit on whatever you want and how you want it. You have to actually be conscientious of the use, which all goes into the whole, I guess, generating desperation in the player and making it feel like a boss fight. Actually,
Yeah, and that tension is something we really pay attention to as we make Karen, and as everything else in Karen, you're a physics object. So if you fall, you are going to be caught by that rope as long as it is. So the longer you go without placing a piton, the farther you're going to fall.
yeah, the
And
more you
if you
lose.
might actually swing down and run into something.
Okay, this one was better.
Nice.
Yeah,
You're
because I
almost at the
think
top here. Are you going to try to go left or right? What's your thinking here?
I'm probably just gonna go and rest up a little bit there. Maybe check out if there's a bivouac somewhere.
Mhm.
Guessing. Let's see. And as we haven't talked about it, but the bivouac is basically your, let's say, home base where you can kind of cook, you can kind of sleep, and do other things. Ooh.
Oh, so close to the top
Yeah.
too.
Well,
Oh,
unfortunately, but I'm actually just right here, so that's fine. Not too
well
far
placed
from
piton,
heaven.
yeah. But yeah, so the bivouac are basically it's where Ava sets up camp along the mountain, and you're able to do this. You have to find the bivouacs, but once you find one, you're able to rest up, take stock, and re-energize yourself for the climb ahead.
Let's see. So I see that she's like breathing hard. Is that also like an indication of something that how she's feeling, for example? Is I guess that's also dynamically implemented, of course.
Yeah, sure is. So whenever her limbs shake, whenever she starts breathing hard, that means she's running out of stamina in her limbs specifically.
Mm.
So each limb has its own invisible stamina bar that you're able to read based on these tells. Whenever she starts breathing hard, whenever her limbs start shaking, that sort of
Nice. Let's see if I can still kind of do something here,
thing. Hmm.
because there seems to be also some accumulation of stamina. For example, I don't know. Do you have some stamina accumulation throughout the day also? Because I know you have some. also kind of day-night cycles, or and you are forced somehow to go to sleep, or is this more of a like, as long as you can hang out for a bit, you'll be good, and it's not exactly a need to sleep. I haven't checked out yet. There's a this.
There's no need to sleep. So whenever you sleep, it's going to regenerate your stamina and time will pass. As time passes, it is going to deplete your thirst and hunger meters.
Again.
Ugh.
Let's see if we can.
You're at a little below half stamina right now, which is a rough place to be.
Ah, okay. So that's also the. Okay, good. That's why I was like thinking of it. Uh, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. Well, let's
Well, no
see.
worries. You are able, if you go up the wall, you'll be able to scale up the wall to your piton.
Okay. Let's see what we can do about it. Oh yeah, we can use a painkiller. We can just eat chocolate, noodles. Guess we can use a painkiller.
I'd recommend against eating the noodles raw out of the bag. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
again, it's your path, it's your choice, but that's just not how I eat my ramen noodles.
Okay, nice. Let's see how we can. Oh, nice. She has like one of those creepers that just go up the rope. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's see. Of course, I know it's hard to share something because I think this was one of the first times that the game was like kind of public. The this demo, I mean, not public, but shown for the public for the first time.
Mhm.
Have you had the chance yet to get any feedback from the community, or is it still too early for that kind of stuff to bring in the community for Cairn?
Oh yeah. I mean, we try to show this off as much as we can. We recently brought it to a trade show where we won the award for the most anticipated game, which was absolutely wonderful.
Nice.
Um, and we got a lot of hands-on feedback. We are also almost constantly running beta tests and to just get community feedback. I mean, we are incredibly blessed to have a very supportive community that is very honest with us and really enjoys our game. So hey, any people from the game day community, we're so glad you're here. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it's really difficult to make a game that feels good without community feedback.
absolutely. Yeah. And you run into this problem where the more polished the game looks like and feels like to play, the more scrutinized you are. So it really is
Hmm.
when the game looks this good, it's not easy to
Yeah.
actually live up to expectations.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Lots of difficult ways. I guess that way looks kind of nice.
Yeah.
Maybe once
And it's
there.
so difficult at times like this when you can see the top right up there, and now you have
Yeah,
to figure out how to get there. Oh, there you go. So you just took a drink of water to refill your thirst meter.
absolutely. Let's see.
So what made you decide to come over here to this path?
So it seemed to me like there was this abundance of holds, which is great because yeah, the more holds you have, the less you have to stretch and contort yourself into these weird positions, right? You kind of have these predestined places where your legs are just going to fit in and your hands. So
Mhm.
to me, it seemed like a nicer way to go about it.
I think that's an excellent choice. Yeah, and kind of the metric we used when designing the stamina system is if it looks like you should be able to hold on, you should be
You
able to
should be
hold
able
on.
to hold
As
on.
soon
Yeah.
as you start contorting your body into these weird shapes to climb, that's where the trouble is.
Okay. Yes, this definitely feels a lot better than other climbs so far. Almost, almost. Still got it twisted.
Almost. Oh, right on the little button there.
Yeah. Let's see. get a little bit of a rest.
Mhm.
Let's go. Yes, it actually feels quite intuitive. So I think you had a good success with that, because of course, transparency is very important to players. As in, I
Mhm.
am looking at it. I think it's supposed to do this, and it's not doing it. And this is usually a pretty big complaint from players in most games, that something seems like it should be doing something, but it's actually not. And yeah,
Yep.
I think so far it's been pretty fair with me, in
Well,
also
that's
not
wonderful to
just
hear.
giving you a recompense, but also punishing you, right, when you're
Mhm.
actually not doing a good job.
Yep. Challenging but fair is what we try to
Yes.
lean towards.
Cool. Let's put you
I'm
down
very
here.
glad to hear you think it's intuitive because it is just whenever you're climbing, it's just the left stick and the X button if you're playing on controller.
Yep.
Move your limb and you decide where to put it. The whole
Yes,
fun of Cairn
absolutely.
is making very simple decisions very challenging.
Yeah, for example, here I kind of see where I'm going,
Mhm.
and I kind of see that I will probably have to switch over to the side. And so,
Yep.
yeah, you need to make these small adjustments, and you cannot just go gangbusters on it. You have to go slow and methodic and kind of feel your place. But I think it also contributes a lot to being kind of this meditative experience, right? Because it really is. You're not thinking about so much things. It's a bit like climbing actually in real life. You're
Mm.
just thinking that, okay, I am hanging from a wall. That's where I need to grab, and it really, it sounds like it's a stressful, very stressful thing, right? But actually, once you are in the wall and you're not, you're like, you feel safe and you know that nothing's gonna happen. It's actually quite good for your mind, because you're just using your body, and you're kind of just letting yourself be guided, let's say, by the, yeah, the natural um, shape of the wall in front of you. So yes, you
Really
have to
fun.
use your brain, but it's still like a, okay, I got myself into oh, I did not meant to do that. Oh yeah, that was enough. Let's
Oh,
actually,
very good. Glad that rope caught you.
yeah, let's
But
go
it's very fun you
and
say that. That's speaking of community feedback, that's something we've gotten quite a few times, is that it is Karen is a very fun balance of incredibly meditative and incredibly stressful, which is a very tricky balance to strike. So I'm glad that you're feeling it too.
okay, so we have that parapet over there.
And this is just kind of a perfect encapsulation of the
Mhm.
feel we really go for in the game, where you can see how small you are in the face of this
Yeah, we
mountain.
can
And this
just
isn't
do
even the
this.
big mountain.
Yeah, we can see something peeking over there in the horizon.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That
something
might just be
snowy, which
Tommy.
is definitely not not easy. Okay, let's
Hmm.
check it out. I guess I can go there. No, and it's absolutely. Yeah. For me, I will definitely be getting the game once it comes out, because it's not. How do I say this? The gaming industry today is, okay, facing a lot of challenges, as we know. Not exactly the, let's say, most abundant of moments in the gaming industry at the moment, and taking risks with innovating on gameplay is something that is quite a risk to take, let's say, um, because usually publishers go a lot for this kind of, okay, what are we good at? What have we sold before? What can we sell again? Do we understand this type of game? And to actually take a risk in something that not everyone can understand. I mean, you, of course, you have the team leader for that. She has experience with this, so she could kind of see the appeal straight, again, straight, right. But it is something to praise, I think. It is not easy to bet on a game as innovative as this one, I think.
Thanks so much. I mean, I think that is something a lot of people as a game makers connect with. We always want to be making innovative new experiences. Every game we release, we want it to not only build on the themes that we have established prior, themes of freedom, of exploration that we worked on in Fury and Haven. Fury being very explicitly about being free, Haven being about being free to love who you want to
Love it.
love, and Cairn about finding freedom on a mountain. We want to build on those themes, but we also want to experiment. That's what's really artistically fulfilling for us. And you're entirely right in saying that it's a very difficult time for the games industry and specifically the indie industry as a whole. So, I mean, the best thing you can do to support indie developers like us is wishlist our games. It's free. It takes like 5 seconds, and you have
Yes,
no idea the difference it makes for a publisher and for a game studio. And I'm
absolutely.
particularly lucky to be working at the game business that really strives to achieve a healthy work-life balance. I mean, that's rarer than anything you can find in the industry today. Found a little outcropping over here.
Yes. Oh, oh no! I was just on the
Oh,
let's say the precipice of it. Uh,
that
but hey,
close. Dang.
them's the ropes,
Them's the ropes.
literally.
Like you're almost out of your thirst meter right
Yes, yes, I know.
now.
But I think I need to, or can I drink the wall actually? Not
Yeah, you
sure.
can drink on the wall. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Good.
Yeah, there
Always
you
handy.
go.
Okay. Good.
At least you're warm. I mean, we gotta appreciate the little things.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What can be plastic wrap? Yeah, I just picked up a. Oh no, it's from the food I ate. Oh, that's nice.
Pack it in, pack it out. And this is
Nice
another
little detail.
function that Climbot also fulfills. Climbot can recycle for you, and Climbot can also repair pitons for you when you're in the
Yeah.
bivouac.
Yes, that's what I'm counting on because I'm going through them like crazy. So
Yep. It looks like doesn't look
yeah,
like you have any pitons left on your pack.
exactly. I think so. Let me check. I have to grab the rope first. Oops, let me. Okay. I think if I do this right, or it's okay, then I can kind of just grab the rope. Yeah, I think I'm kind of screwed here because not so much to drink and not so many bivouacs. But yeah, you live and
hmm
learn. Let's see.
So close to the top up there. I think you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
make it.
And okay, yeah, here. So that's the.
Oof, yeah, no pitons left.
Ah, yeah, backpacks content not usable while climbing. That's what I wanted to look at. If I could refill the water, but no, I have to. I have to wait for the for solid ground. Yeah, I just really have to make it there, basically. Then I can
hmm
drink water. I can call the climb bot, and I get at least one. I know of them. I did it correctly.
hmm
But it's not looking so great. But let's see what we can do.
I have faith in you. I think this is a very interesting strategy. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I'm just one of those send it kind of guys. I would just kind of throw myself at the mountain until I got to the top, but you're taking a much more intelligent approach.
I mean, is it? Until I'm successful, I don't think it is, right? So let's see.
Okay. Oh, you're almost to the ground.
Just move, just move. Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay.
there you go. Okay.
Let's recall the bot. Let's open our nice backpack. Let's check out the water. Transfer, right? Yeah. Or yeah, here we go. Okay, good.
Woof, there you go.
So yes, surviving is hard. Ah,
hmm
Jesus Christ. Well,
Even when you're not in a mountain, survival is hard. And then you go on
yeah,
the
yeah,
mountain,
yeah,
and
yeah.
oh boy.
Okay, let's see if Climbot can actually give us. I would say 2 pythons would be ideal.
Yeah,
So let's see what he can bring. I know one for sure, but I don't think two. Yeah, but this is
one
the
would be
kind of
great.
nice expectation you build, right? You're just waiting here, just resting. 2 pythons, nice. And then you get to see if you're screwed completely or just a little bit. Okay,
Hmm.
let's think about how do we do this.
I love our skyboxes. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we kind of see it.
We so rarely get a chance to show off the stars, but
Yeah,
it is one of my favorite parts of Cairn.
actually, the stars are in the logo, right? So makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay, let's see what we can do here.
Also, that lantern on her back is not just for show. You can also use that to help light your way.
That would be
Yes,
here.
if you pull up your quick menu and then you hold left trigger, you get the second array of
Oh yeah,
options, and you can just pop that light right on. There you go.
nice. Well, here we go. Let's see if we can, in the final minutes that we have, make it to the top. That will be a very fitting end, I think, for the demo, actually.
Oh yeah.
But it's been a blast already because I had the chance to play a little bit of it before, but not so much. And yeah, it's really becoming more challenging. The little bit I played before was like, I see where this can get challenging, but now, now I feel it in my bones.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, great. We can should be resting soon. It's kind of
Go regaining a little stamina.
okay, great. Yeah, yeah. It really is
You gotta hand that
crucial.
now.
It really is crucial to learn how to put those pivots in the table.
Yeah.
Otherwise, okay, where can I go? Oh yeah, it makes such a difference with the lantern. So thank you very much for the hint.
Happy to help. It's really hard to climb when you can't see the
Uh
mountain.
huh. Okay, so we're moving.
We're moving now. That big plank, expansive wall right in front of you is really rough because you just have to choose whether to go left or right here.
Yep.
And something that I find absolutely fascinating, and it is really indicative of the caliber of art direction, is that if you look at the pattern of lichen on the wall, the pattern of lichen will actually change as you increase in elevation, and we've modeled it after real high altitude lichen.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this attention to detail really makes a difference, of course, because I mean the game is about climbing, but you also need this kind of freshness coming into the game and this kind of variety in biomes, right?
Mhm.
Trying to showcase all the different aspects of a mountain.
Yeah,
I
and we really
might
want that sense of discovery to just kind of never end as you progress through the game. You're always going to be finding something new because the mountain is so huge.
actually. Can you talk a little bit about the duration of the game, or is that still not really talkable at the moment? Let's say.
I think you can touch on it. Yeah. So it's obviously your mileage is going to vary depending on the routes you take, depending on how long you want to spend exploring. But we're aiming for like around 20 to 30 hours. This is a game that's going to stay with you for a little while.
Yeah, that's quite a lot actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I assume, I mean, if you play as well as I do, you're going to be climbing this mountain several times over.
Oh yeah.
So I'm 100% sure you're gonna take your time to actually get there.
Hmm. And you have climbers like me, and I've been playing this game for months, and I still haven't reached the peak.
See if we can make it up because we are just about to be on time for the stream.
That would be so satisfying. Oh, there it is.
Go, 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 please.
Come on, Aava, you can do it. And hey, look, there's a cairn.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, awesome. Let's recall our buddy boy. Let's feel our water. Let's drink to our heart's content. Let's fill
And
it
why
up
don't you go
again.
walk up to that railing and check out that mountain? Your timing is just impeccable, Nuno.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing,
Are you
actually.
ready for Cammy?
Nice. So now we see the mountain, actually.
Doesn't look
Since
so
we're
bad,
close
does
to
it?
wrapping up, Morgan, do you have any message you want to give to the players? Anything you want to tell the audience today about the game? Anything coming up that you would like to share? Please feel free to do so.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all, please feel free to wishlist Cairn on Steam. It's really going to help us out. It's going to help us reach more people. Hey, there you go. There's the message right on the
Exactly.
screen.
Awesome. It just works.
Also, if you want to see more Cairn, please follow us on our socials. We are at the Game Bakers on almost every platform. We are on TikTok, Tumblr, uh, Twitter or X, Instagram, Blue Sky. Please feel free to find us. We are so excited to share more of this game with you, and we cannot wait to release Cairn next year.
Absolutely. I am so much looking forward to it. Thank you, Morgan. You were excellent support because I really needed it, not just with controls, with guidance, but also with spirit keeping up. Just like a good friend when you're climbing, you always need a good friend by your side, not just for belaying, but for mental support. And I just want to thank you and also thank the audience for joining today. And yeah, I also can't wait to see what comes out of Cairn and try to make it up the mountain.
Thank you, Nunu. Thank you, NDX.
Absolutely, guys. Stick around. We'll have more games coming up. So please keep tight. I think it's Zeta Zillions coming up. See you guys.